All right, guys, so before I get going on my throws, so on my PlyoCare throws, I first want to establish pretty much like the goal of today, and that's just establishing efficient positions and patterning that I want to do with my lower half today. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go from a couple different modalities. I like that word. So what I have is company called Towel Trainer. I've been using this now for a couple years. It's just a towel with a cool handle so you don't get into inefficient positions trying to grip a towel. Actually gives you a handle so you can grip it with 2 fingers. So I'm going to utilize that. Hit me up, I can get you a discount on them. But to be completely honest, I've used the Towel Trainer a lot. Let's you'll see, let's do it. So like I said, the first one, we're just going to use a towel. And like I said, my emphasis right now isn't really anything up here. I just want to make sure that I'm feeling the ground. I'm getting into that hip hinge that I want. I'm making sure that I'm creating that elasticity, that stretch that I want through my front side and my back side. And then, you know, the arms just along for the ride. And the cool part about like a towel is it's almost like, you know, I use the analogy of a whip a lot, how the whole thing needs to function efficiently for that thing at the end to snap. And it kind of gives me that little feedback that I'm looking for actually. So I like to start out in just towel drill rockers. So get put into a preset position where you're already pressing down into the whole entire foot. I don't know if you guys can see, whole entire foot, trying to avoid coming up, leaning that knee forward, which I tend to do a lot. So pressing into the heel, pressing into the whole foot, applying really good, efficient force application into the ground, and then we can just rock into it. Again, feel it on the comeback here, boom, and we can separate and throw. Another variation that I'd like to do is a preset separation of the hands. So I can be here, lean, and now when I come back, I'm already separated. I'm already on time. Now all I have to focus on is staying stacked. A lot of questions when doing rocker drills, where do I position my front foot? And for me, you can have goals as far as if you're a guy that prematurely opens that hip, maybe preset it to where you're closed, or if you're a guy that doesn't get those hips necessarily all the way open, which we see a lot of high power output pitchers do, go ahead and go to the opposite spectrum, right? For me, I'm pretty okay with where my front foot lands. The positioning of my front foot, it's consistent, it's where I like it. So I pretty much just position it like I would anytime throwing, right? So it's usually, I wouldn't say it's not fully straight, a little quarter turn there. You know that I'm a huge proponent of the connection ball. For me personally, I'm okay with where I'm at right now, my positioning, my arm path. I like where it's at in the early stages of my throwing progression. But just to humor you guys, this is what I would do in a towel setting with a connection ball. Same thing, same rocker stance. Force into that back foot, staying connected with the foot as long as possible. And that usually just flies by. And hopefully it doesn't hit something and ricochet off and you gotta go running. Then you look like an idiot. There's been occasions in my career as well where I wasn't synced up with my limbs. Not my limbs, but my arms. You probably hear the term equal opposite a lot. It's for guys with maybe a really long glove arm and a really short arm, which I actually do have now. But my problem is, instead of that coming through and pulling and this thing getting to a point where usually you see center cut of when the head positioning gets to the belly button, they'll usually be equal opposite in sync. And I was having a problem getting those in sync. The timing of it was off, which caused a lot of inconsistencies. So there's been occasions where I've just used this because I needed to get this into a path where I'm presetting that where I would wind up with this throwing arm, if that makes any sense. Just short, compact throws. You're just instilling that motion memory, telling your brain to download these reps. That's where we want to be when we're going high speed. So something I'll talk about in my product review coming up on this Towel Trainer is I actually like Towel Trainer for the obvious like mechanical reasons of it, you know, the dry work stuff, but I also like it as like a warm-up. I don't know if there's too much truth to that and if it does anything, but at the end of the day, does it matter? Throw a little 4-pound counterbalance piece in. The reason why I love Towel Trainer is like a lot of the times you make your own towel, right? And that's what everyone says. And I'm sure everyone's gonna say when I do the review. But sometimes you make your own towel and like you grip it like a tennis racket and you throw it like a curveball. This actually, like, you put your 2 fingers here and you're really replicating the throwing motion. And I like the feel of, like, the biggest thing for me with the towel drill, I talk about the whip a lot, how you treat your arm like a whip and the body moves efficiently and you get into a position for, you know, the launch position to get that thing going and the arms along for the ride. The towel gives really good feedback because it literally is a whip. So you get it down here and then you wrap it up and then you can just feel that whip coming through to the tip. I don't know, personal feedback, as always.